Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match from the World Championship at Katowice 2021. It's going to be Maru versus Rogue here on Romanticide, the latter edition. Bottom right, it is Rogue. And in the top left, it is Maru, 5-time GSL champion. And Rogue, I think, not entirely sure if Rogue has won a World Championship. I need to brush up on that, right? Okay, so Rogue, StarCraft 2, Wikipedia is a good source for this information. Let's check out his accomplishments. Let's see here. In Premier Tournaments. He's won some GSLs, absolutely. He did win Katowice last year, but that was not the World Championship. Global Finals took a 3rd place. IEM he won. Another GSL he won. Another GSL he won. But no, he's actually never won a World Championship. So, GSLs I'm going to consider, man, especially back then, like 2016, 2017, when all the great players were in Korea. Let's just say Rogue's an incredibly great player and leave it at that. Maru's proxy raxing, by the way. We are checking for proxy raxes, but this Overlord, are we going to see it? Come on, come on. Oh, the Overlord, he might have seen it if he'd kept going on the path that he... Oh my gosh. He barely clipped that at the last possible second. If he had turned like half an inch sooner, he doesn't see this at all, and he's not prepared for it whatsoever. Incredible. I mean, that's why he has the Overlord on the high ground, so that he knows if somebody starts building a bunker here, he's ready for it. Or he sees, you know, 2 SCVs come in. It's a little bit suspicious when 2 SCVs arrive at 2 minutes. So here goes nothing. Maru trying to kill Rogue fast here at Katowice. Oof. All right. Well, 8 lings are in production. The drones are coming down to buy some time for those lings to come out. In fact, I think like all of the drones are coming out. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure if scouting this was really all that necessary. All he really had to do was recognize with that Overlord that a bunker was coming up. And yeah, that bunker is not coming up because the SCV is going to die, and the bunker itself is taking a ton of damage, and we're out. We're done. So you might say, well, crap, Rogue won this game. Let me tell you a secret. Maru can do this. He can proxy you, fail miserably, and still win the game. I've seen him do this against Scarlet on my channel. It's one of the most amazingly frustrating games I've ever seen for a Zerg player. Maru shows up with the proxies, bunkers down, Scarlet shuts it down pretty handily. He just floats his barracks home. I think it was even a 3 or a 4 racks proxy. Floats him home, and he's fine. That's it. Starts building the second base on the high ground. He's walled off. Slowlings can't do jack against that. And everything's cool. I don't know. I just feel like if a Protoss totally just bungles a cannon rush, they don't win the game, right? But proxies, for whatever reason, I'm not even sure if it's fair to say that proxies in general are that way, or if it's just that Maru is that way. It's really hard to kill him, and it's like he's got multiple lives. You have to beat him 3 or 4 times to actually beat him, which I know is kind of a crazy thing to say, but I really feel like it's true. So at the very least, it throws off Rogue's timing, right? He wanted to get a 3rd base down at 2 minutes and 30 seconds-ish. We're at 3:45 by the time this actually gets lost. Oh, yeah, 6, 7, 8, 3:48 is late. It's not like he's even getting a roach horn or extra gas or anything. This is just regular. He's just super delayed. Because, again, losing that mining time on those drones is a snowball effect. Over time, it hurts. It hurts more and more as time goes on. Delays your 3rd base, delays your attempt to get a lair up, delays your roach horn, your baneling nest, whatever else you're going for is going to be late after that. So that's why Maru's okay, is the response to what he was doing was a ton of lost mining time, and Maru didn't lose any mining time at all. That's kind of the play here. Anyway, speed's on the way for the lings. We have a bunch of lings out, 10 of them, but they're not really accomplishing much. I mean, they can be used against this double Hellion attack coming into probably the 3rd base. This Overlord is going to scout it and see what's going on. At least give some advance warning to the Zerg player that there are some Hellions rolling on in. And creep tumor down because they are light now, and Hellions do bonus to light. Remember how that was sold as making creep tumors light was sold as it's better and easier for Protoss to kill creep tumors? And Terran was like, yes, more making things light. Oh, he just dropped some... Okay, well, this is rough stuff all of a sudden here. Drop some Hellions in the main. Gets 9 drone kills. Well, it's 13. Sure. 14. Why not? And then get out with every single Hellion. Why shouldn't I be able to do that? Meanwhile, Ling counterattack is actually kind of hard to deal with if all of your Hellions are on the other side of the map. But at the same time, the Hellions are hard to deal with if your Lings are on the other side of the map, too. Alright, so shoves that away. No extra things died, but by golly, supply depots are getting wrecked here. Maru is going to be supply blocked after this, which is super annoying. He already has another supply depot on the way. High ground tank is pretty good at protecting your SCVs at the natural base in this situation. More Lings. I don't know about this rogue. He's got so many Zerglings. Does he have a Baneling nest? No, he doesn't. He has lost. What did he lose there? 14 drones? 20 total drones have died today, including the ones that died during the proxy defense. So at this point, I'm going to say Maru's just fine. He's done enough to put himself back effectively even with Rogue. The Lings are just not quite fast enough to catch Hellions off creep. On creep, they do great. Creep spread's important. Trying to do it, but again, Hellions doing bonus damage versus light is a problem. Resources lost here are 1,300 to 600, so about double. More resources lost for Rogue, which is fine. I mean, Zerg player can afford to lose more than their opponent and still win the game. That's not a huge major concern. Baneling Nest on the way at about 6:30 and Aspire. So Rogue is one of those players that likes his Mutalisks, but isn't particularly worried about microing them. He generally what he wants to do is just macro his face off and just throw groups of 15 to 20 mutas at you over and over again in different places. And he'll lose them, but then there will be more coming. So it's extremely hard to deal with if you're a Terran player, but I think Maru is probably up to the challenge right now. Overlord down. Bleh, explodes miserably. Creep tumor down. Trying to spread creep this way has been a nightmare for Rogue. Marines on the edge of the creep. Alright, going for it. It's just Lings and Queens, man. I know I have a Baneling Nest, but he's not making any Banes because he's saving the gas for Mutas. He really wants them Mutalisks, and there we go. 6 of them on the way immediately upon completion of the Spire. Tank positioning here is really good on Romanticide. Ling's trying to go for a bit of a run by or something. I don't know, but this is so frustrating to deal with for Zerg. It's just then you pick up, and if you try to engage back here, there's 2 siege tanks shooting you in the face. The Ling counterattack is maybe going to... No. There's repair. If there wasn't repair, that tank would die. Where are the... Okay, the Mutas are here, which makes this a little bit easier to defend. You can actually threaten the Medivacs if they come in to pick up. If you try that trick again, right, you run in, and then when the Lings engage, you pick up. But if there's Mutas about, it gets harder to do. All right, Mutas. There we go. Now you have to leave the tanks to die because tank attacks are not a thing. But it's 11 kill tank before he goes down. And it does break the contain. Let's see, we have a third base. No, honestly, just throwing on additional reactors. Not really interested. Just kidding, third base is here. Who builds a third base in your natural? What is happening right now? Okay, we need Banelings. You can't just go Ling Mutalisk Rogue. I understand you're a GSL champion. I understand you are the man. But you can't deal with this without Banelings. Are you seriously trying this without Banelings? I mean, I did say that what he likes to do is toss huge numbers of mutas at you over and over again. I didn't say anything about Banelings, did I? No. Alright, well, see, this is what I'm talking about. Muta control, he's microing these really effectively. That reactor might actually go down. And then when the Marines arrive, we're just going to go ahead and back on out. And maybe actually do some damage here. But guess what? Marines can fly too. Sort of. Muta's trying to sort of engage here, but that is not what you want to be doing, friend. Not at all. So it's time to get out. All right. So 3 base to 3 base here at 9.5 minutes. Creep spread continuing to push the right side. The left side is still super anemic. Rogue really needs to get this happening. Really does. He's getting centrifugal hooks, and I am assuming once that's done, we'll start seeing some Banelings. In fairness, slow Banelings are terrible. I didn't realize he hadn't gotten centrifugal hooks yet, which is such a weird thing, but anyway. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this match, by the way. I think it's a pretty darn good TVZ. think both players are playing pretty darn well right now. Just again, the like helps the YouTube algorithm know that I exist, helps the channel to grow. And yeah, I've been casting StarCraft since 2015. My 6-year mark just completed. So anyway, Mutalisks coming into that natural base where there are 2 turrets. But the Muta count is big, but Marines are bigger. Bigger boys, Marines are. A couple SCVs die, but again, this is really keeping Maru pinned, is the whole idea. Overlord here, maybe for Nidus shenanigans. The Mutas really, man, they got a refinery coming back in. Go figure. 4th base from Rogue, about 60-70% complete. Mutas, this is almost a StarCraft 2 style of Muta harass. Just kind of poking around. Not trying to win the game with this. Oh, this is more Mutas than you'll see with General Harass, right? Again, this is Rogue committing to those Mutalisks really, really hard. Man, if he can get those engineering bays, that'd be pretty good. Thors are out. Splash damage is here. It's probably time to go home. Just kidding. Rogue really wants that upgrade, and I don't think it's safe to do so. Nope. Yeah, just pulling out. Tissue regeneration will regenerate the health on these Mutas pretty quickly when they're out of combat. That doesn't mean you can rely on it too much if you're being active with your Mutas, which you should be, because again, being active with your Mutas is how you be a good Zerg player. Whew, catching a splash there is not ideal. Golly, what are we doing here? 23 Mutalisks. Resources lost 4,000 to 5,000-ish. Rogue no longer double the number of resources lost. Again, that was early, so it doesn't really count for much, but you just keep coming back in here. I would maybe honestly throw down a couple Widow Mines there, see what happens. Does deny vehicle weapons level 1, so Thors want those upgrades real bad. Not going to happen. Changelings killed, Mutas recognizing. Alright, I guess we just come in, kill a turret, kill some SCVs. That should be fine. 3 SCVs have died already. 17 SCVs have died to 20 drones, so Maru doing a good job with that. Income favoring Rogue a tiny bit. He really, there you go, is expanding again. So he wants that. Obviously, Maru, we saw him land his 4th base. Maru's macro is insanely, terrifyingly good. Again, might be biting off a little bit more than he can chew here. Is Rogue. Ah, Rogue double expanding to the 6 o'clock too. Banelings with speed. And that extra HP coming in. Alright, alright. It's a couple hits. That supply depot might actually burn down unless Maru decides to repair it. So both players are maxed out. Army value is higher for Maru, but Rogue, again, if he can hold on to these extra bases, is going to have a better income. He can be a very, very happy Zerg player. He's got a Hive coming in. He's working on 2-2 for his Lings and his Banelings. He's working on Flyer Carapace. These Mutas might be a little stuck. They don't have recall, so flying out of here without losing a bunch of dudes might just be impossible. Maru has set up a bit of a trap. But you can't sit here forever if you're Maru, and I think Rogue knows that. It's like, where is my window? This? Sure, let's kill some of your turrets. Like, he's got enough Mutas to just absolutely engage into turrets, even if SCVs are repairing. Again, with the good upgrades. Meanwhile, big-time Baneling Bomb explosion here at Maru's 4th base. It's gonna die, and a big attack by Maru on the right side at Rogue's 5th. That's gonna go down here. So, a base trade there. Ooh, 2 bases going down for the Zerg is not good, and Maru escapes with virtually no casualties. I'm not sure if there are any casualties at all. So killing 2 bases is so big. Rogue trying to get an engagement here. He's going to kill that Thor, which is nice. Widow Mines. Whoa! That's a lot of exploding green, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're here for, ladies and gents, is the exploding greenness. Medevac down. Rogue wins that battle, but at what cost? Resources lost, 14 to 12,000. So keeping pace on the resources lost. The trades are pretty even there, but you just can't calculate the loss of 2 bases for Rogue at this stage of the game. He killed the one, which is nice, but guess what? Maru's already got it back because he was building another command center elsewhere anyway. It is one of the advantages Terran has, is they can build their bases wherever they want in safe locations. They can build backups, whereas Zerg cannot. Protoss cannot. They lose a base, they have to rebuild the base on location, and it takes a while to do so. There's no such thing as backups. Again, Rogue's Muta is effective. Really, really effective stuff here. And you know what? Rogue expanding again just for the sake of it at this point. Interesting for sure. See, this is Rogue on Mutalisks. This is what he does. Has he lost 12 of them? Yes. Does he have 20? Mm-hmm. I think he's doing fine. He's really keeping Maru pinned in here. Maru, other than the one attack that killed 2 of Rogue's bases, sounds like I'm downplaying it quite a bit, and maybe I am. Maru's really been stuck at home. That said, it looks like he's pushing here again. Ultralisk's on the way, obviously, from Rogue. Production tabs have been telling us about chitinous plating for some time. And, you know, Ultralisks themselves. Burrowed Banes. Oh, that's not a great location, is it? It's worth a shot, maybe. But again, attacking 2 bases simultaneously. Hatch down and hatch down. Almost synchronized hatchery killing there from Maru. And the Burrowed Banelings don't even do anything. Oh, Widow Mines, though. 6 kills, 1 kill there. 2 bases killed. Maru's like, every time I move out, I'm going to kill 2 of your bases. Rogue says, no, he's expanding top right. The macro on display here is disgusting out of both players. Maru's got another base on the left side at about a 8:30 position or so on the clock. Both players maxed out. Both players very little by way of banks here. Ultraling Bane, I like this situation quite a bit for the Zerg player. He should be able to back this out effectively. He has more Banelings ready to go. Maru might be assuming there aren't any, but he's got the Marauders in the front. Marauder heavy comp right now. The Marauders absorbing Banelings is great. The Thors absorbing Banelings is great for Maru here. The Muta count is heavy enough to really pick off some of those Marauders, but there are enough Marines that were hiding behind the lines. Another hatch goes down. And Maru not super healthy on this side, but looking okay. The Lings are not killing these guys. The Mutas are getting massacred. Rogue, did he just lose all of his Mutas? He did, and taps out. Maru is your winner in 17 minutes and 3 seconds. So basically, so Maru proxies, fails with it, floats his barracks back home, is kept pinned inside his base for 90% of that match by Mutalisks, largely. Muta's causing huge problems for him. Somehow manages to get 4 bases up anyway, 5 bases up anyway, and the times he moves out, it kills 2 bases at a time. He kills 2 during the first attack, he kills 2 during the second attack, and the third time he comes out, kills an entire base. That's 5. Rogue is done for the day. He has nothing left. He's got 21 Lings and a Mutalisk. It's not a huge army for Maru. It is exactly 3 Thors, 13 Marines, and 6 Marauders. But he's killed enough. He's killed enough. He's on this side of the map. Rogue knew it was time to tap out. And Maru is your winner. He's just scary, man. Maru is just an extremely, extremely scary Terran player. I would never, ever want to play him. It'd be so frustrating. It'd be like I'd Baneling bust him and kill all of his SCVs, and then he'd win anyway. Man. Absolutely fantastic display there for Maru. And again, he can proxy, fail with the proxy, and win anyway. I think there are maybe 2 or 3 Terrans in the world that can do that. I'm not even convinced there are that many. It might just be a Maru specialty. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. So again, just Rogue played really well, but this is classic Rogue. He made 32 Mutalisks and lost 31 of them. He was not as cautious with them as other players necessarily are. It didn't work out for him. It almost did. He was almost on like 7 bases, and a 7-basing Rogue is really hard to deal with forever. But Maru managed to sneak. He managed to sneak attacks in places where Rogue was not ready for them, and just vision was part of it. Scouting was a big problem. So sometimes at these high levels, doing everything at once is difficult. And that was it. It was one thing Rogue just kind of missed being aware of where Maru's army was at all time. And I think that was it. I think that was your key. All right, amazing stuff. So that right there is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, A Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit the like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.